And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to the Michigan International Raceway as we're getting set for race number 24 of the fourth season of the NR 2003 Red Bull GT Series. After today's race, we only have 6 more races left to go until we crown our champion for this series, and it should be a lot of fun to see what happens in 50 laps time. Sebastian Palmer, if you didn't tune into this morning's qualifying session, starts on the pole position alongside Shyla Askraov in the 07 machine. Sebastian Palmer comes into this race looking at him in the points table. He is 18th in the points. This is his first pole of the year. Shyla Askraov is 16th in the points table. As Shyla is also one of the drivers still in the hunt for the Rookie of the Year honors as far as that is concerned. And in row number 2, we have Vanko Seaman in the number 10 and Lizette Armstrong in the 2. Vanko comes into this race second in the, comes in this race, if I can find the 10, 17th in the points. Lizette Armstrong has really been struggling. She moves up to 41st position in the standings. So going to be interesting to see how this race is going to play out as far as what will happen in the next couple of weeks as far as that is concerned. As we'll show you the rest of the starting lineup for today's race. Of course, Shyla Askraov not in the contention for the Truck Series Championship as she didn't make it into the playoffs despite her win. As you see the rest of the drivers right there. Nobody had to go to the back. Nobody had to go to a backup car or crashed in qualifying. So that's good news there. Oh, hold on. All right, everybody is rolling off. It was somebody from the back of the field that had some problems. Here's the points coming in this race. Alexander Underwood still the points leader, but it's down to 7 points over P Albanus, the rookie points leader. J Ard, 18 points back, third in the standings. K Goforth is 25 back and fourth. Sarah Redmond, second to rookie year standings, who is only a total of 24 points back in the rookie year points lead, is fifth. Kyler Anderson, Skylar Taylor, Josh Harmon, Bradley Reim, and Kyle Langeland will complete your top 10. Of course, we got another Red Bull GT Series today, the Winston Cup race tomorrow. We just had our first race of the second round for Trucks and Bush. We just came off our second elimination race for the Winston Cup Series drivers. Ponzo Albanus is still in the hunt in that championship over in the Winston Cup Series. Green flag is in the air. We're racing here at the Irish Hills of Michigan. These drivers are going to need to make a pit stop because they cannot make it 50 laps on one tank of fuel. It's on times 2, oh, by the way. And where's the Winston Cup Series drivers, you ask? They're at Darlington this weekend. On Monica Towns failed to qualify, so they're already on their way back to on their way back to Darlington, I should say. Vanko Seaman. He will be in tomorrow's Winston Cup Series race with a lot of pressure as he goes into this race in the 20 points behind Cody Smart for the championship going into the Elite 8 tomorrow. Of course, he made punched his ticket into the next round of the playoffs after a good result last week at Kansas. Now he's underneath Sebastian Palmer for the race lead. There's Bradley Reim, Shyla Askarov, Skylar Taylor right there. That's Ricky Cervantes in the 38. He's about to lose a spot to the gal who just recently got eliminated from the Winston Cup playoffs, Annie Crenshaw. Annie Crenshaw, Ashley Reynolds, Hannah Smith, and Elena Aurora, the four ladies that were eliminated from the Winston Cup playoffs. If you don't know who were the four that got eliminated. And Aurora and Annie Crenshaw are in this field, by the way. As we're going to check the back of the field, Ponzo Albanus barely made it into the next round of the playoffs. There's Maddie Crenshaw still trying to find victory lane for the first time this season. Over in Winston Cup. She'll be in tomorrow afternoon's race. There's Elena Aurora, who was recently eliminated from the Winston Cup Championship after a dismal second round. Currently 3 wide. Still looking to win Still having a good season here in Red Bull GT Series competition. There's Eric Alpha. He started last. He's already clawed his way up to the 24th position. Sarah Redmond starting to drop back a bit. Luna Farmer has been making a lot of races here in the Red Bull GT Series. We'll have to see if she's going to still be eligible for the Rookie of the Year honors. She is only making her 4th start. This is 3 races in a row she has made. So whatever she's not doing in the Busch Series, she's doing really good here in this series. And DVR does want her full-time next season. Shyla Askraov in 2nd, right behind the leader, Bradley Reim. Shyla's still a little sore after her big wreck at April a few weeks ago. Elena Aurora also still sore from that big wreck. Thankfully, both the DVR girls were cleared to race last week. They will probably go see a doctor to see if there was anything that was damaged in their bodies, but hopefully nothing too serious. Of course, Shyla Askarov going to focus on the Craftsman Truck Series final 3 races, while finishing up the Red Bull GT Series. So she's only got, 9 races left this season, believe it or not. 6 in the Red Bull GT Series, 3 Craftsman Truck Series races. As Bradley Reim still the race leader, as we're on lap number 9 of 50. 25 laps is the farthest these cars can go on a fuel run, since we're on times 2. There's Brooke Packett, Kasumi Takashi, Sebastian Palmer. Ingrid Pollard not in the championship hunt, I'm afraid. Not having a good season here in the Red Bull GT Series. Also not having a good season in the Craftsman Truck Series, believe it or not. She comes into the race, the 99 truck, 17th in the points, going into Talladega next week. Yet to find victory lane, by the way, for that 99 team. There's Chaz Farmer. If you didn't tune into this morning's Go or Go Home qualifying session, he's back after serving a 1-race suspension. He missed last week's race after was suspended for apparently not paying any attention, taking out Matty Crenshaw in the process. Why he did that was beyond me. Chaz Farmer will be leaving the Red Bull GT Series at the end of the season, as Timo Mauser just took the lead. There he is. Chaz Farmer will be leaving the Red Bull GT Series at the end of the season, as I mentioned, because if you guys are not aware, he was only slated to come back for this season, and then, like I said, we don't know what the future has in store for Chaz Farmer. So what he's doing for next season is basically up in the air. So this could be Chaz Farmer's final season in the Red Bull GT Series. Of course, he is going to be approached by Ricky Cervantes. Of course, Ricky Cervantes trying to retain all of Zachary Taylor's drivers. And that's basically how it is going to go. As Timo Mauser, right now the race leader. Timo comes in this race 45th in the points. Excuse me. It was announced Cheyenne Berkshire, which Taylor at first said retirement, but Cheyenne Berkshire announced today she will be moving over to Nathan Orman Motorsports next season, along with Harrison Jenkins. I think the real reason for this move is because, according to team owner Nathan Orman, of course, Ormy failed to qualify for this race. I think the real reason is that, a driver cannot be, when a team is shutting down effective immediately, their rookie drivers are not allowed to be gone after one season. So they had a choice of either get claimed off waivers, which Nathan Orman claimed those two drivers off waivers today. And of course, we will see Cheyenne Berkshire next week. Same with Shyla Askraov and the other 33 drivers. Of course, J Ard will be in the truck race next week at Talladega. Sean Art not having a good run. Cody Goforth also not having a good run. As we're looking at Brooke Packett, who took the lead from Timo Mauser. I keep thinking Oskin's in that, right? But it's not. We have raced here at Michigan. We've raced here twice at Michigan. This was the same track. Funny story about Ricky Cervantes. I'll go ahead and discuss this now. This is actually the 1 season anniversary for Ricky Cervantes. Or actually, no. Yeah, it is, because we're already past the 1 year anniversary, because he replaced Hadley Martindale. I forgot we're already past the 1 year anniversary. Actually, December 9th will be 1 year since, as Timo Mauser goes back to the lead, it'll be 1 year since I banned Jared Underhill, Zachary Taylor, and Blake Wagner from this channel. And of course, Matty Crenshaw, did have a talk with the Red Bull GT officials. So there you go. So as we're probably expecting pit stops in the next couple of laps. Elaine Aurora, by the way, is the defending winner of this race. She won back in season 3. She's in this field. The inaugural winner, Cody Smart. Of course, this is the car that Cody Smart drove in season 2. That was our inaugural win. I thought I saw somebody on pit road. Looks like Chaz Farmer came to pit road. He's a lap down. Yes, he did. So he came to pit road on lap 18. I don't think he can make it the rest of the way, to be honest with you. There's Brooke Packett. Brooke Packett will be driving for Junior Motorsports as number 40 in the Oreo Cup Series next season. Because Bradley Reim did not announce any plans. I got Brooke Packett a ride at the last minute. Timo Mauser, not sure what he's doing as far as Oreo Cup Series plans. Annie Crenshaw, who just recently got eliminated in Winston Cup. She's going to be back with Penske next season in the Oreo Cup Series. Annie Crenshaw will also be back with Penske in the Winston Cup Series next season. So Annie Crenshaw looking forward to the new Oreo Cup Series season. Brooke Packett is going to have to attempt to qualify for have to attempt the Daytona 500 as far as the Oreo Cup Series because she's now in a non-charter capacity. Ingrid Pollard. There's Shyla Askarov. The good thing for the 07 car is that we are not going 3 for 3. Well, actually, we went 3 for 3 in replacement drivers. Actually, no, 4 for 4. I take that back. I think this is the lap we're supposed to expect pit stops right about now. Of course, Shyla. Of course, we had 2 drivers in the 07, Jared Underhill, and then he was ejected, ironically, before this race last season. And Isaac Willis ended up replacing him for the rest of the season. And I was told today, just when we were coming to the track, I was told by security officers that Zachary Taylor, Jared Underhills, we got some dust being kicked up on the front stretch. Not sure who that's from. But I was told today by security as well as the police here in Michigan that Zachary Taylor, Jared Underhill have now been banned from coming to the Michigan International Speedway. And they also said that they will not tolerate any inappropriate behavior. So they gave me made sure these drivers had lots of extra security this weekend. Which I appreciate the people at the Michigan International Speedway doing that. And of course, this being the first year, this is not called the DRL Red Bull GT Series, which sucks, but it is what it is, which is completely understandable. As looks like we're going to have some pit stops. Yes, we are. As Timo Mauser is coming in the pit road, Brooke Packett will stay out. Looks like Sean Art came to pit road. He's 2 laps down. Oh, he was on pit road. Cody Goforth as well. Annie Crenshaw just came to pit road, so looks like we are having green flag pit stops. As Brooke Packett and the leaders are already on pit road making their green flag pit stops. Oh, Sean Art's out of the race. Oh, he blew up. That's why. I thought he was on pit road for a pit stop. It was more than a pit stop. The engine has let go on Sean Art's car. Uh-oh, that's not good. That's a tough break for Senor. As Brooke Packett is down in a way. I thought I saw another car out of the race, but I'm just seeing things. Sean Art came in this race 29th in the points. He was only 72 points ahead of the 35th in the standings cut line, as Timo Mauser, I believe, has just gotten around Brooke Packett. I don't know if that's for the lead or not, because the pit stops haven't cycled out yet. And yes, it is. Timo Mauser did the undercut, had to come to pit road early, and now he's in the race lead. He's on fresh. He's on older tires. Packett's on fresher tires. And of course, the track here at Michigan International Speedway is Henrietta Fitzwater is going to try to go for the race lead. It was announced that both Michigan International Speedway and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway will not be returning to the Season 5 calendar. And I think there's a reason why. The reason, I probably know the reason why they're not going to be back on the calendar. It has nothing to do with the racing. That's not going to be the issue. I think the main issue is, I think it's due to the fact, that, with the two people I just mentioned who got banned on the channel, Taylor and Jared Underhill. And look, it has nothing to do with Michigan International Speedway. It has nothing to do with Indianapolis because, I respect those two tracks. But I think the main reason those two tracks will be off the calendar just for next season is because of the controversial incident, dealing with those two people as far as those two states are concerned. I mean, it sucks we're going to lose Michigan and Indianapolis, but I think it's for the greater good that we will lose I think it's a greater good that both Michigan um, and Indianapolis take a 1 year hiatus. As you look at Chaz Farmer, and I think Chaz has got more issues on his car because he's probably dropped a cylinder or something. And it's brought the entire field with him. So there must be more than, an unscheduled pit stop. I wonder if the engine has gone bad on Chaz Farmer. And, I hate it for Chaz Farmer and Matty Crenshaw losing their team that they just built. But the good news for Matty Crenshaw is that team did get bought out by Ricky Cervantes, and that team is relocating them. So, and I think, it's definitely going to be good. It's going to be sad we're not going to be back at Michigan next season, but it's an understandable reason, why they want to have a 1 year hiatus. Hopefully, with those two in jail, Taylor and Underhill, it will be a peaceful transaction. Which also, by the way, puts both Indianapolis. Well, actually, Indianapolis is going to stay on the calendar. Michigan, I don't know what this is going to mean as far as their future is concerned. As far as the Oreo Cup series. But we will have to wait and see as far as that discussion is concerned. So we'll have to see what the schedule is going to be for season 5. And like I said, season 5 is going to happen, but what date is going to be a TBD because that's going to depend on a couple of things. One, it's going to depend how long it's going to take for me to get Oreo Cup Series 2026 stuff done. And the other thing you got to consider is that when do I start the new season of Trucks Busch and Winston Cup Series? So that's going to be a couple of things that's going to be discussed, on Discord, on the World Racing Association Discord. When will we have season 5 of the Red Bull GT series? When will signups be? That we don't know. We will just have to wait and see as far as that's concerned. I will, however, keep the same qualifying format for the Red Bull GT series that we've done, that we started doing, I want to say back at Auto Club. But instead, treat it like a 2-day weekend where you do go or go home qualifying and then pole day qualifying, and then we go race the next day. As Henrietta Fitzwater currently the race leader. And of course, Annie Crenshaw is also going to be in the All American Series next season that will start in January. So, in addition to the Oreo Cup Series starting up in 2026 in January, we'll have the All American Series also starting up. I will be messaging some people. Actually, I need to check something real quick. As Henrietta Fitzwater currently lead, we're, by the way, at 5 laps of racing to go. Emma Kaiser right now in second. Burke Packett, Annie Crenshaw, Lucian Bianchi, your top 5, as we're down to 3 laps of racing to go. Want to remind everybody this copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the World Racing Association for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction or rebroadcast or retransmitted or any other disseminations or the use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the World Racing Association is prohibited. Blue Hedgehog TV and the World Racing Association want to thank you fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. Down to 2 to go. Next time by will be the white flag. Alexander Underwood running in 8th. He will definitely keep the points lead. Ponzo Albanus second in points, 37th. Ugh, that's not good. And Sarah Redmond not better. White flag in the air, 1 more lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank. Josh Harmon's fallen the lap down. Not sure what's up with Josh Harmon, why he's a lap down. Excuse me. Henrietta Fitzwater trying to go to victory lane for the second time, and she was also 29 points ahead of the 35th in the standings cut line. Off at turn 4, Henrietta Fitzwater is going to pick up her second win on the year, winning here at the Irish Hills of Michigan. in what might be the last ever race at Michigan for the foreseeable future. Which I would not be surprised if that is indeed the case. Standings are now official, waiting for other drivers to cross the line. Brooke Packett will get second, 47th on the points. That's actually her first top 5 of the season, believe it or not, as the standings are now official. Kaiser will get third, so Emma Kaiser's been on the rise the last couple of weeks as she's moving up. She was 25th in the points. She'll definitely move up inside the top 20 in the standings leaving today. Annie Crenshaw, a great run for a driver who just got eliminated from the Winston Cup playoffs. She'll finish in 4th. Lucia Bianchi will get 5th. Annie Crenshaw came into this race, if I can find her, 30th in the standings. She was 67 points ahead of the 35th in the standings cut line, so she will definitely be extending that gap away from 35th in the standings. Bianchi comes into this race 15th in the points. He'll climb his way through the points table, and Timo Mauser will get 6th. So good run for a couple of drivers from Captain Frank's team. In fact, all 3 of Captain Frank's drivers inside the top 10. Mauser, Bianchi, and Kaiser. Good job to those drivers as far as that's concerned. Kasumi Takashi will get 7th. Great run for Takashi. It will stop the bleeding after the struggle she's had in the last several weeks. Came into this race 26th in the points, so she'll definitely climb back up through the points table. Campbell Marsh will get 8th. Good run for Campbell Marsh. Campbell came into this race, as I look for Campbell, he comes into this race 31st in the points. He was a total of 64 points ahead of the original 35th in the standings cut line, so a well-needed run for him. Alexander Underwood will get 9th, came this race as the points leader. He will keep the points lead heading into our next race in a little over a week's time, believe it or not. And Ricky Cervantes will complete the top 10. Cervantes came into this race 20th in the points. He will still climb his way through the points table. And the honorable mention, Eric Alpha will get 11th. Skylar Taylor, Logan Williams, Reggie Fogleman, not sure what he's doing for Oreo Cup next season or this series. And Bradley Reim, who will be back in the Red Bull GT Series next season, will complete the top 15. Look on down for the rest of the finishing results. Couple of drivers I get a little concerned about. Didn't talk much about Cody Goforth, 22nd. Came as race 4th in points. Sarah Redmond, 2nd in the Rookie of the Year standings, comes home in the 32nd. J Ard, 3rd in points, 30th. Ponzo Albanus, 2nd in points, 37th. We'll finish a lap down. Vanko Seaman was the last car to finish on the lead lap in 39th. So a lot of drivers running well in points really did not need any of these bad runs. And they're going to allow Alexander Underwood to pull away as far as the point lead. But we had 39 drivers finish the race on the lead lap. Josh Harmon finished the lap down. Not entirely sure what was wrong with Josh Harmon during the closing stages of the race. Chaz Farmer looked like an engine went bad or something because he was really slow. He finishes 3 laps down. And the only driver who did not reach the conclusion of the race, poor Senior Sean Art, a mechanical failure, a camshaft let go on his Jaguar. I'd be concerned about Senior Sean right now because he came this race 29th in the points. He was a total of 72 points ahead of the 35th in the standings cut line. I'd be concerned about that, if you ask me. Andrew Williams also came this race that critical 35th in the standings. I don't know what this is going to do to him as far as the points are concerned. The good news is the guy that was trying to chase him down for the 35th in the standings, Sam Tenley, he failed to qualify for this race. So I think he's going to be somewhat safe, but he needs to start having some good finishes, if you ask me, as far as trying to keep himself away from that 35th in the standings cut line. But that is going to do it here at Michigan International Speedway. Congratulations to Henrietta Fitzwater on her 2nd win of the season. Alexander Underwood is going to keep the points lead heading into next week. As for the rookie points lead, that's going to be up in the air as far as that is concerned. Let's see. If I did some math, I think L Bianchi would gain a lot of points. Same with Shyla Askraov, who finished 19th. So, boy, rookie of the year is going to get a little shaken up heading into next week at our next race at Kentucky. That'll be a little over a week's time as far as that's concerned. Next weekend, we only have Trucks, Busch, and Winston Cup. They're at the high banks of Talladega Super Speedway. And then the following week, we'll have Red Bull GT Series at Kentucky, and then the elimination weekend at Homestead Miami Speedway. But we got to cap off this race weekend tomorrow. It's the first race of the Elite Eight, as we have the Winston Cup Series race from Darlington at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then next week, as we mentioned, Talladega, as Trucks Busch return. They'll join the Cup drivers at Talladega. That will set us up for the final elimination race at Homestead Miami Speedway to determine who will be the 4 drivers that will make it to the Championship 4 and who will be the 4 drivers who will be disappointed and heartbroken as they will be eliminated from the championship. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed today's race. Subscribe to become part of the World Racing Association crew today. We show your full finish results. Your point standings are down in the description heading into our next race in a little over a week's time at Kentucky. Until then, I'm at Deanville signing off. Thank you so much for joining me. And as I say, good afternoon and good night from the Irish Hills of Michigan. We'll talk to you in a little over a week's time or tomorrow's Winston Cup race. Until then, you've been watching another broadcast of the World Racing Association, the greatest racing since 2013.